Hello, happiness abounders, and welcome back. Today I'm going to dive into why you can't say no and why you are overextended in all of your social engagements. But here's the thing, it's not because you are a people pleaser. I want to be very clear on that. That may be a part of it, but it's not because you hate letting people down, you just want to see people be happy, and you're neglecting yourself. Like, sure, there's some martyrdom in that. But what I want to talk about today is that I think one of the reasons that we can't say no is because we are unorganized and we are not fully aware of the expectations to what we are saying yes to. So let me know if this sounds familiar, if you're still with me, because no one likes hearing and saying I'm a people pleaser. That has like some glory to it because you're here for other people. But no one likes hearing it's because you're not organized and because you're not aware of expectations. So if you are still with me, here's what I mean. Have you ever had a chance to say no to someone and you have that like feeling, and this is the people pleaser part, but you have that feeling like, oh, I should say yes because I don't want to let them down. So then you say yes. And then you find out that it's a much bigger ask or a much bigger expectation, or things keep on shifting and changing and you don't have the time for it. You weren't aware it was going to take this much time or this much effort, money, energy, whatever that is. And then you start to be like resentful and you feel like, I was trying to have social self-care by interacting with this person, but I'm really just getting screwed over, right? How many of you guys have felt that way? I'm willing to bet quite a lot of you. And if it's not in that extreme of a case, even in a mild form, I think we've all felt that at some point. But here's what I mean on the organization and the expectation. If someone comes to you and says, hey, would you be able to, I'm going to go with something that comes up to me a lot, would you be able to teach a class or to do a training on whatever this is, X. Do a training on subject X. And I say, yeah, sure. And I leave it at that. Suddenly, I don't know when I'm teaching this class. I don't know how long they would like me to teach this class. I don't know if they have some parameters of things they'd like me to go over regarding this subject. I don't even know if this subject has multiple facets and they want me to just focus on one of them. And is that the one that I speak on? Again, I don't know where. I don't know when. I don't know the time frame they want me to speak in. I just said yes to something that has so many facets and so many expectations that I didn't get any information. I just said yes. So then when they say I need it tomorrow, now I'm committed. Now I haven't had the chance to say no, and I've got to get it done. So because I wanted to people please them and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I'd love to teach a class, but I didn't ask any additional follow-up questions. Now I'm thrown into a situation where I feel kind of abused. I feel kind of manipulated. I feel like I am letting people down, but I feel like I'm letting myself down. And I start to feel a little resentful. Then when I'm teaching this class, I feel resentful to the people who are putting it on and resentful to the people who I'm presenting to. And that ripple effect causes a lot of problems and pain. But all because I wasn't asking the expectations and I wasn't organized. Here's the organized part. I didn't ask where, when, how long, what time. Maybe they're asking me to speak for a Saturday and my Saturdays are booked up for the next 3 months. Now I have to rearrange things or I'm not thinking about it, and Saturday morning I'm like, I'm double booked today. You have to have organization and an understanding of the expectations to be able to say yes or no. Without those, we say yes and we pin it on being a people pleaser. But really, it's because we didn't ask the right questions to be informed and we weren't organized enough in our life to say, yeah, I can do that or no, I can't. Because once I've determined the expectations, now let's say that that single ask is 40 hours worth of work. Actually, I'll use another example, but same kind of thing. I had an ask to do some freelance work and I had to get a whole bunch of information and questions to see the expectation and things like that. And I realized this was a 3-month-long project, not a 2-day project. And so I said, yes, I can do this. It's going to take me about 3 months. And in that 3 months, I'll be giving you X, Y, and Z. We can set a more solid timeline. But if you need this faster than 3 months, I'm not your person. because this is a lot of work and I'm balancing a whole bunch of other things, and I need to make sure that I'm meeting everyone's expectations and I have the time to do this and do it right so that I can then please them in what they asked me for. And the person said, yeah, sure, that's great, no problem. I know you'll do it, I know you'll do it right, and I'm willing to wait the 3 months. Perfect. That's fantastic. But if I had just said yes, then I would have been in a complete mess and wanting to figure it all out and wanting to please this person, but really being unorganized and not knowing the full expectation of timeline even would have caused a lot of problems for both me and the other person. So going back to teaching the class, if it's a 40 hours worth of prep and they want me to do it in 2 days, I can't do that and still manage my normal life. Now, if it's 40 hours worth of prep and they want it in a month, absolutely, I can do that. But I need to know the expectations, to know the time frame, to organize my life in a way that I can accomplish doing that thing. Now, in both these cases, it's someone asking me for something. But what about when someone says, oh yeah, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go to this gem fair. I'm just throwing stuff out there. It was on my Facebook notifications this morning. But I want to go to this gem fair. Okay, you should come with me. Now, suddenly that's a social thing that I want to say yes to. But when is it? Oh, it's this Friday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Oh, okay, well, I work. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Well, maybe next time. I'll try to give you some more notice. Great, then I can get work off. That'd be fantastic. I'd love to hang out with you. But what if I had just said yes? And then they're like, okay, great, I'll see you Friday at 11. And I'm like, oh, I have work. I can't do that. And they're like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. Like, I guess it is what it is. You have work and that's fine. But now you feel like you've let that person down. Now, I'm talking like in extreme cases. I think that we can say yes and then ask for further details and then say no. But I think for many of us, we don't do that. And even if we ask for further details, because we have said yes at the start, we feel that we are now obligated to continue to say yes. Or when the project changes, the situation shifts and it's no longer viable for you, we still say yes because we feel like we have committed. And I'm not saying go back on your commitments, but I am saying let's set ourselves up for success where we can say no to say yes. And here's what I mean by that. Saying no, you don't even have to say no up front, but like, hey, let's talk about this. I'd love to learn a little bit more before I say yes. But there's also things where you're like, I can't commit to that 40 hours of teaching a class, let's say, hypothetically. I can't commit to those 40 hours of teaching a class, so I'm so sorry, I'm going to have to pass on this one. Please keep me in mind for your next. Now, somebody else could come to me with something else to possibly do or help or engage with, and maybe it's fewer hours. But because I said no to the thing I knew I couldn't do because I was organized and I knew the expectations, I am freed up to say yes to this other thing. But if I say yes to all of it, it's a mess. If I say yes to all of it mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, I am drained. So, coming back full circle, well, many of us feel like we can't say no because we are people pleasers. I think having a sense of organization in your life and asking for clear expectations to inform that organization is a great way to be able to say no so you can say yes to other things or yes later. So I'm going to leave it with that today. And I know that's a weird form of social self-care because it's really about you being organized and setting expectations or understanding expectations. But by doing that, you can set yourself up for social self-care success. So that said, leaving you with that today, I really hope that this has got you thinking. I hope that this episode resonates with you. And if it does, please rate, review, and subscribe on your listening platform of choice, or you can leave a review and a 5-star tap also on Facebook. You can find the podcast and me on facebook.com, Happiness Abound blog, or on Instagram, happiness_abound. Oh, and quick side note, if you did like this very straightforward saying no to say yes later approach and you'd like to take your life to the next level, check out my website at happinessabound.com, click on mentoring, and I offer one-on-one mentoring packages and would love to mentor you. So all of that said, have a wonderful day, manage those expectations, get organized so you can say no to say yes later, and above everything else, remember, you are capable of happiness abound.